I love being in my feminine era.
I just think we're supposed to be.
You can't do that when you're single.
The hope is everyone finds their feminine energy that's supposed to, and just like, it's a normal.
I don't want to do blue jobs anymore. I don't want to take out the trash. I don't want to get gas in my car now that I have a car. I don't want to change a light bulb because I had to do all of that for a very long time and I don't want to anymore. Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod.
Boom! Jordyn's got her monster purple today. Your favorite color.
I know. I like to change it up, but I was on the story earlier today on Instagram, and I was like, white's my favorite, then purple, then orange. Those are my top three favorite flavors.
White's your favorite, then purple, then orange. Oh, it makes me salivate because the white is my favorite too, and the second this baby pops out, I'm going to have my white one in my hand every day. But for now, I'll just watch you.
What's Harrison's favorite?
The white. It's all he's had so far is the white one.
Same with Pete.
If he likes it, I'm like, it ain't broke.
Yeah, no, seriously. Where are you?
I'm in Orange County, California, 3 houses in from the beach.
I thought you were about to say like 301 blah, blah, blah Avenue. I was like, don't tell us your address.
I'm saying it. 113, no. Yeah, that I'm in the OC. Where are you? I mean, I know where you are, but where are you?
I'm at Pete's apartment again. His lighting is just unmatched. I don't have my windows in my apartment look out to a brick wall. So if I have to make content, I go to Pete's because this is just natural light on me right now. Like it's all windows.
That's so much nicer. It does look really good.
Where are you at Airbnb in Orange County?
Yes, I'm at an Airbnb because I always think that's the best way to get the feel for the place.
Yeah.
And so I'm at Airbnb. I'm like cooking here, and I'm like pretending like I live here. Although I've already lived here before. I know exactly what it's like to live here. But Harrison didn't know what it was like to live here. So we're living here for the week.
Yeah. How does he like it? Because I feel like the crazy thing with California is you can go 20 miles down the road and you can get a whole different feel.
Yeah. And so there's LA proper, right? And then there's Manhattan Beach, which is... There's Manhattan, Hermosa, Redondo Beach, and those are like 20 miles out. And so we drove to those and like walked around. They're on this like massive slant down, and I knew what Orange County was like. And so Harrison was like, "Don't you love it here?" And I was like, "I do like it here, but if you're gonna be out of LA, just go check, 25 miles down further." Because to me, if you're driving out of the city, you're driving out of the city. So I was like, let's go check it out. And he didn't think he was going to like it very much down here. And we got down here, and that boy was like, it is a whole other land.
How far are you?
45 miles out of, I'm 45 miles from LAX.
How far are you from Laguna Beach?
10 miles. We're neighboring Laguna. Because we're the OC. It's the OC. Orange County is Laguna, and it has Newport. They're right by each other.
It's funny. Well, it's not funny. Pete's favorite place is Laguna Beach.
It's both of these places are. I prefer Newport over Laguna, only because this to me is the most walkable place, like I think in the world. Because you're on a literal peninsula, and the weather is good year round, and so to get to anywhere, to get to the grocery store, you walk everywhere, and so that. Yeah, it's really unbelievable.
So is Harrison being persuaded to potentially move there?
Well, he had the best point on the planet, and he was like, listen, you don't move to Newport Beach with like dreams. You kind of come here after you've achieved them. And I was like, correct. Because the real estate's expensive. And so it's not like a lot of entrepreneurs that are building. It's kind of like the 60-year-olds that made it. And so it's kind of, you have to, like, he kind of wants to we both want to optimize for the people. So there's kids and things here. It's just like, it's so hard when you think about raising a family somewhere, but it's wonderful. It's slow.
I know. Is that crazy that now that you're pregnant, you really do have to take into consideration not only where you and Harrison want to live, but where your kid will thrive?
Yeah. I look up school ratings everywhere I go. Like I look up, the schools here are great, but we really want to do public school. So I just look up the ratings, and I'm like, and that's like a make it or break it.
Wow. Okay. So number one city you want to move to right now in this moment?
It's so funny because it's like, what city do I love is a totally different list of where I want to move is not for me anymore. It's for like this baby, and it's probably Austin.
Okay.
Austin just makes a lot of sense in terms of good schools, good cost of living, a lot of people building, but also families. Things I never thought I'd say.
No state tax, right?
No state tax, but they have the other one. There's like Nevada's the better version of it, but they have no state.
Okay, that's what I thought. I like see these. I literally saw a TikTok today, and it was what you can get in. I think it was Houston, Texas, and it was like this mansion, and it was $400,000. Which yes, that's a lot of money, but for what you got, I was like, oh my god,
it is unbelievable. And like when you think about, it's like, you need a car. You need a second bedroom, you need all of these things. And it's just like, is it worth it to live in New York for that? And your kid can't kick a soccer ball.
No, I'm over New York. I'm moving to Florida. I just have to convince Pete.
How's that going? Is he down? Not really.
I mean, he's, you know how guys are. Like, you and I are pretty impulsive. And we're like, if we have an idea, we're like, we're moving tomorrow. And he's like, Jordyn, like, you have to take steps. We have leases and jobs. And I'm like, you're right. So it's slowly happening. But every day I'm like, I'd be happier if we were in Florida.
Yeah, the weather makes such a big difference.
Yeah. I'm going to Florida next week and I'll be happy there. I'm just going for like a few days. But it's just, I don't know. It's just so nice having space. Like when I'm at my parents', they have a house. They have more multiple bathrooms. They have a lanai. You can sit outside. It's just so nice. When I'm in New York, I look at a brick wall.
I know, and you to go to the grocery store is like draining.
I know. Thankfully, it's been so beautiful in New York the past few days, and I think this weekend's supposed to be nice. I'm looking outside right now, and it looks like it might rain. It was literally blue skies all day today, so that's been helping a ton. Like I've been in a lot better of a mood. But we just had a rough winter, like not cold wise, but it was really cloudy in New York.
It can be hot but gray, and it still takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
Let's talk about BÉIS. You guys, I have my carry-on in the room that I brought with me to California, and I got a lot of DMs about it saying it's such a good size carry-on because it has multiple compartments, but everyone was like, does it fit below the seat? And I was like, well, it's sitting below my seat right now. And it is the most practical. There are pockets on the inside. There are pockets below. It holds, I could pack for 2 weeks in this thing. It is the most practical carry-on on the planet. And we know Jordyn is obsessed with their luggage. So tell us about that.
I was just about to say, it's so big you could fit a baby in it. And then I was like, wait, you're pregnant.
We could try it. We'll try and fit a baby in it.
No, it's literally incredible. I hate checking a bag, and I don't have to with the carry-on suitcase and then the BÉIS carry-on bag. It's so spacious. The last time I was packing for a trip, I actually had extra room in my carry-on, which usually my carry-on's so heavy. I'm like struggling through the airport, and this time I was like, wait, why is this like so empty? This is awesome. It's so big.
It's so big, and all of their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. They've got their like red and cream out right now. It's beautiful, it's durable, and it is so practical. So you guys, right now, BÉIS is offering our listeners 15% off your first purchase by visiting BÉIStravel.com. It's spelled BEIS travel.com /Mean Girl. That's BÉIS Travel, BEIS travel.com /Mean Girl. For 15% off your first purchase. It's summertime, so go get some new luggage. I was listening to Mel Robbins talk about, like, don't let the weather affect you. And I was like, Mel, I do love you, and I agree with you most of the time. And she was talking about how, you can't control if it sprinkles outside, right? So, like, why would you let that ruin your day? But there's a reason that when you wake up, you're supposed to start your day with natural light. Because, like, there's a reason that we go to sleep at night and we wake up during the day, and it affects your brain and releases endorphins. And then I called my parents the other day. My mom, they were going to an art show, but it started raining. And my mom was like, turn around, Joe, go home. We need to just be home while it rains. And I was like, I kind of do get it. You're not in as perky of a mood when it's raining. Like, the weather does affect you.
I hate the rain. I would much rather it be a blizzard outside than sprinkling rain. I agree.
It. If you have a blizzard, you at least get to abide by the blizzard rules, which is like have hot chocolate and a fire. And when it's raining, you're just like wet.
Well, and in New York, it doesn't just like rain normally. It's like a tsunami. I remember like a month ago. So Pete lives like 4 blocks from me. And it was raining and I was walking to his apartment and I was in such a mood where I got halfway and I was like, I'm not doing this. And I turned around, walked home. I called him and I was like, I'm not leaving until it stops raining. And he was like, what do you, like, we were going to a movie. He's like, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to cancel, like, not go and all these things? I was like, well, I'll go, but like, I'm not leaving until it stops raining. And I was just being such a little sass because I was so pissed off because my leggings were soaked. My socks were soaked. My shoes were soaked. I was just like, I just have to dry everything. And I'm like a wet cat right now. My makeup's ruined. My hair's ruined. And he was just like, everything's going to be okay.
It's like, so is the shower. But it does. That's why there's seasonal depression, because the seasons affect you. So I listen, exactly. I get it. And it rains less in Florida.
Exactly. How are you feeling, by the way?
I just don't feel good. I'm not having... I feel so much better now that I'm actually trying this new thing of I'm trying the Unisom with like the correct dose of B6, which a lot of people told me. And that's helped. Unisom is a sleeping pill is the problem. Yeah. So I've been asking everybody, I'm like, when did you take it? And they're like, you just take it in the middle of the day. So I'm taking really small amounts of it. But I think the reason I wake up feeling I'm fine until noon, and then I'm just nauseous, sick, and I'm in bed. But I think the reason maybe I'm fine in the morning is because I take Unisom. I take one Unisom before I go to bed. So there's properties in Unisom that are anti-nausea, and so that with B6 is apparently like an at-home remedy. Fine today so far, so we'll see. Maybe it's working.
I cannot believe how nauseous you still are.
I know I've thrown up more in the second trimester than I did the first. But people are messaging me and they're like, listen, I did the same thing. Everyone was like, first trimester's bad, second's good. And then it's like, no, who wrote that? The same person that said morning sickness? Because there's no rule book, I guess. You just kind of see what you get.
Oh my God. So have you tried taking, what's that medication people take before they go on boats to prevent seasickness or flying sickness?
Like Zofran?
Dramamine?
Oh, Dramamine?
Yeah, Dramamine.
I've taken Dramamine, and Dramamine was interesting because I was still like sick. It didn't help. Like, I don't know. I also put on the band for seasickness. And it's not, I'm giving you the thumbs up. It's not that kind of, like, it's a different kind.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, though, because I feel like your car sickness was out of this world. Like, of course you would get nauseous during pregnancy.
Yeah. I just don't think I was going to get hit with the easy stick. I don't know.
Do you get really bad heartburn being pregnant?
So I don't have it, but a lot of people have it, and they say the people that get it, their babies come out with hair, like a full head of hair. And like, though people will make these videos of like a full baby with like black hair, and they're like, of course I had heartburn. So I'm like, is this girl bald? I don't know, because I don't have heartburn at all.
So I get heartburn almost every day. Now, like, it used to be only when I drank alcohol, but now it could be eating candy. I had like Tostitos before we recorded and I started getting heartburn. And I'm like, when I'm pregnant, am I going to get it so bad where I'm going to be extremely uncomfortable because it's so painful? Or like, it's like acid reflux.
I used to get that with tequila, and it is the worst ever. But I don't know. Like, I think some people get diabetes when they're pregnant. Some, like, I used to get heartburn. Now I don't. So, like, I just think you never know. You might not have it at all, or I guess it could get bad. I don't know.
Speaking of tequila, do you miss not being able to drink?
Not at all. Not for 5 seconds. It's the craziest thing. Like, not because I'm just constantly, maybe it's because I'm in bed. Like, I'm just more present than I've ever been. And so that's really nice. But yeah, no.
Do you think you'll start drinking again once you have the baby?
You know, I think about it a lot. I don't know. Because one thing I do love is this parents getting together and having wine night with like their babies.
Yeah.
I think that's like a really cute thing. But I've never been like an at-home drinker at all. And I'll be at home with the kid a lot. So like that I know I'll never adopt. But yeah, I don't miss it in the least.
Dang. I would miss wine so much because I like genuinely really enjoy the taste. Yeah,
I am obsessed. I will drink in the middle of the day a Heineken Zero. Like because first it's the best tasting non-alcoholic beer. I've had them all. But Harrison's gotten on it. Like if he's watching a game or something and he would have had beers, he's like, wait, I don't want the buzz. I loved the taste of it. So we constantly have Corona, Athletic Brews, and Heineken, all 0 alcs in this place. And like, it's just a lot of times I've tried non-alcoholic wines. Like a lot of times it is just the taste.
Interesting. I had one non-alcoholic wine once and it was the most disgusting thing I have ever had. I accidentally bought it and because I just like didn't think, I like grabbed the brand I usually get and I started drinking and I was like, oh my God, this wine is it must be like so old or it was opened or something's wrong with it. And then I looked, I'm like, oh my God, it's non-alcoholic.
Oh yeah. Wine's harder than beer.
Yeah.
I think to make it good.
I've heard Heineken Zero is really good.
It's the best. I mean, it's just like, it's unbelievable. It tastes the exact same. It's crazy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
You guys, let's talk about Skims because everyone knows that finding the perfect t-shirt can be such a challenge, but not when Skims enters the chat because especially for summer, we just want the perfect t-shirt and the perfect basics, but you don't have to look any further because Skims has you covered. And of course, Kim K has us all covered, right? Who does it better than her? So Jordyn and I both have the cotton jersey long sleeve tees and the boyfriend t-shirt, and they are your summer and your spring basics, you guys. I promise you, we have them in marble and we have them in onyx, and I have one in mineral. So they are the best. They are so comfortable and they are perfect for if you're working out or if you're going out. They really transition from day to night and they are so comfortable. And so you guys shop the Skims t-shirt now at skims.com. They're available in sizes extra, extra small through 4X. If you haven't yet, be sure to let them know that we sent you. So after you place your order, select podcast in the survey and then select our show in the drop-down menu that follows and tag us in your Skims.
I can't believe you're pregnant.
Me either. I mean, I can and I can't at the same time.
Like I've known you've been pregnant for months now, but now that it's public knowledge, I feel like it's like I was told again.
Yeah, I know. People will comment like I'm in shock all over again, and I'm like, me too. Every day I wake up and I'm just like, you are gonna have a child.
And you post about it now, and you you show it, and it's just like, oh my God, this is real,
dude. The body is great. The body is crazy. It's crazy.
What's the or the size of what fruit is it this week?
A melon. Am I a melon? Wait, good question.
I think you were a melon last week, or does it not change weekly?
No, it does. I will check my registry just to review it. I'll check this app. I check anything I can check. I just can't remember anything. What's it called? What to expect or expecting better? What to expect? I'm a mango.
You're a mango.
And next week I'm a sweet potato, which is ridiculous because a mango to me is bigger than a sweet potato.
I was just going to say that. I'm like, isn't a mango bigger?
But you know what's better? Sometimes I switch it to items and I'm an 8-ball. Remember those 8 balls you used to shake? That's like the most accurate. I mean, doesn't that put it in perspective?
Which is crazy because like an 8-ball is like this big, but why is your stomach so much bigger than that?
I researched. I'm always like, what? And it's like there's that, and then there's like the placenta, and then there's like the fluid, and there's all these things around it. Cause like I could take like a real life punt, like it's so protected in there.
Can you imagine if like your stomach wasn't round when you're pregnant, it was just like the shape of the object.
Just like sticking out. Ew. And it didn't like cusp over it. I'm like,
in American Horror Story, it's about like sacrificing babies and stuff. And Emma, sorry, that was really dark, but Emma Roberts is pregnant with like a demon baby, and you see it clawing at the stomach, and you like see its hand, and it's just like, can you imagine if you could see like the baby's hand like touching your stomach? But since you're so protected, you would never see that.
Yeah, you wouldn't see it like them in there dancing, but like you can't. They say like if you listen to music or something, like it kind of will dance a little, which is so cute. But there was that YouTuber who thought she had demon kids in real life. With an R, Ruby. Did you see this?
Was this recent?
Yeah.
Julie and I are both like YouTuber kids, and she's giving us like the weird look, like nah. And I'm like, I don't remember that.
She went to jail. Jail, mom, abused kids.
Oh, Julie, you do remember this. Sorry, I thought she was like
Ruby Frankie or something.
What?
She's in jail now, and they found her diary. And she's just writing in there like, these kids are demonic. I'm going to put them in their place. And the way they caught it was the little boy ran across the street, and the ring light or the ring doorbell caught him like banging on it, like pleading for help. But she realized, thought her kids were demonic, and then she goes to jail, and one of her friends comes to visit her, and not how are my kids, she says, did we make the news? So she's a psychopath.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's terrifying.
She thinks American Horror Story is real, and her kids have that, and they're just like these little innocent little things. And she was like, not feeding them. I can't remember. Had them locked in a room, and was journaling about it. She thought she was doing something.
What year was this?
This was like a month ago.
Where have I been? How do I not know this?
It didn't make. It made Yahoo, which is why I saw it. But
okay,
they kind of kept it under wraps. It's just not a good story. It's just kind of a crazy story. And she kind of wanted the fame, which is why I think some publications were like, no.
That's really sad.
Yeah, it was crazy. Speaking of stories, I do have another one for you, which this one's really blowing my mind. So
wait, it's really what?
Blowing my mind. Like,
I love your stories.
It's so crazy how in the drop of a hat, like your life can change. So there was this couple, there was a couple of couples from Oklahoma City that went to Turks and Caicos. I think there was 4 couples for a 40th birthday. Like, they're adults with kids. And they go through security in Oklahoma City with carry-ons, right? Go to Turks and Caicos, and they're coming back, and two people get pulled out through security in Turks, and it's giving me balloons. They get pulled out during security because the guy had hunting ammo, like, because he's a deer hunter, and so he had ammo in his carry-on. Oklahoma City didn't catch it though when they went out of security, which is crazy. They're pulling the tapes now because they should catch that. They catch it over there in Turks. He gets arrested, and they both get arrested. And they just changed the laws over there. So he's got 12 years in prison. And there's nothing like the U.S. senator, like the Oklahoma Langford. What's the governor? I don't think he's our governor. He's our senator. He can't get him out. No, like, American politician can, like, help these people. And, like, he's still over there. So now the wife got to come back because it wasn't in her carry-on. But he's still over there, and he's out on bail, but he can't leave the country, and he's most likely going to have to go back to prison. And this happened to somebody else over there, and the guy is like having to serve the term. And it's just like, they were over there for a 40th birthday. The guy hunts deer. Our security should catch ammo in a bag, and it didn't. And now he's over there, and he is locked up, and he like has a family.
So it was just the ammo, it wasn't the gun?
No.
That is absolutely insane because, one, I think that should be the airport. Like the airport should be liable. The one if it's on camera and they can like see the ammo, like prove that he had it flying there. Like that's not his fault that he forgot it. You know how many times I have forgotten things and I'm like, how did like as simple as like a pair of scissors. One time I went to Mexico when I was in high school. The U.S. didn't catch it on the way back. When I was at the Mexico airport, they caught it, and I thought I was going to get in huge trouble because I was like, this is like a weapon, and they just took it from me. But I'm like, the amount of times things don't get caught, that's horrifying.
12 years. Like, this will change this guy's, like, it will affect, I mean, everything. And it's just like he forgot.
Do you know them or have mutual friends?
I have mutual friends with who he works with. But I kept seeing my friends post they were doing a GoFundMe because they're going to be buried in legal fees. And I donated to it because I was reading the story. And at first I was like, why is he over there? And then I watched some news outlets covered it. And I was like, oh my God, this guy hunts deer and forgot he had it in there. And they're pulling the tapes from the Oklahoma City airport to see why they didn't catch it. But I'm like, it doesn't matter. Like, yeah, they should have caught it, which would have changed this guy's life, but they didn't. So he's still locked up over there. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. And you guys, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. But every month, your mental health should be at the top of your awareness because it impacts every single thing you do throughout the day. It's like if your mental health isn't good, you can only be so good. So really prioritizing your mental health is something that you guys know Jordyn and I care about so deeply, and our Mean Girl audience. We are all about bettering ourselves, and the way to do that is with BetterHelp because therapy should be easy. Like, therapy shouldn't stress you out. So the best part about BetterHelp is it's affordable, it's entirely online, and you can switch your therapist at any time. So it's really the most user-friendly thing ever because you can text your therapist. It's really easy and accessible, especially for our generation who we just love constant contact like that. So we always say untangle the knot. If you're feeling like you're in a knot and you need to untangle it, lean on your therapist and lean on BetterHelp. So get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/meangirl today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/meangirl. You guys remember this month and every month, prioritize your mental health.
I can't believe that he'd go to jail for 12 years for having something in his carry-on that he gave, like, that they took away peacefully. Like, it'd be one thing if he was, like, trying to start, like, a huge, like, brawl at the airport or using it to threaten people there. But if he just peacefully was like, oh, I forgot that it was in here, you can take it. I'm really surprised that that'd be 12 years.
I know, and I'm sure, I'm assuming there's a drug link here, right? Like, they think it's some cartel, maybe something, right? But I'm like, can we use some discretion to see that this man lives in Edmond, Oklahoma and isn't a part of the drug cartel?
Oh my God. It actually is very terrifying how your life can change in the blink of an eye. Like,
yeah, right. Just by not even thinking about that on a 40th birthday trip. So that's just my little sad tidbit there. So I hope somebody can do something, but it seems like the politicians know and the like government officials know. And like so far their hands are tied, which is wild.
That's really sad. I feel I'm trying to figure out a way to how to transition to a happier time.
I know, sorry. It's just so like, I'll check my carry-ons now if I go out of the country 25 times.
Yeah, I mean, even the last time I traveled, because I don't check a bag, so I have all my carry-ons. I was like going through security. Well, actually, that doesn't matter because everyone goes through security. But I was like grabbing my bag, and this man was getting his bag checked, and he had power tools in his luggage, and he was just like, it's like, sometimes people just don't know. Like, he wasn't trying to cause harm. He literally was like, I'm so sorry. Like, is there any way I can like put it in my check bag? He's like, I'm like a carpenter or electrician. I can't remember what he said. I need these tools to work. I didn't know the rules. Like, sometimes it's just as simple as that. So and their whole life can change. Like, that just makes me feel sick.
I know. That's actually like a great example. It's like, you just don't know.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, to speak of a little bit of a lighter note, I saw this super interesting topic the other day. about high quality versus low quality men. Did you see what I sent you?
Yeah, I watched it. It's so fascinating.
And so pretty much what it is, it's of course a TikTok because that's the only way we get our knowledge these days. But this girl was explaining how dating high quality versus low quality men change her as a person for the better. And I never like her day-to-day habits. And I never really thought about it because I never really thought about it until this TikTok. And then I realized, oh my gosh, this is so true. Because when I used to date low quality men, my day-to-day habits were worse. Because I would stay out later, party on the weekends, take Adderall, sleep in, wouldn't work out as much, eat more unhealthy, binge drink, post like thirst trappy Instagrams trying to get these guys' attentions because I wanted their attention. And then I realized like when I started dating Pete, I rarely posted on Instagram. Like people used to say like, oh, I can tell Jordyn's dating again because I would post like thirst trappy things. When I started dating Pete, no one really knew because I didn't feel the need to try to catch his attention because he never made me anxious and he always made me so secure. When we would go out, we had fun, but like we weren't staying up till 3 a.m. on a Tuesday because he had to work the next day. He had a job. So I was like having a normal routine. I never felt stressed. Like he loved to work out, so we would work out together. We would go on walks together. And I just realized like dating a higher quality person, like just the little habits in your day-to-day, it was just so amazing when I thought about that.
So Harrison always says, he showed me this Instagram the other day of this girl and he was like, how much do you want to bet she's single now? Because it was this thirst trap and I was like, oh, that's totally a single girl. And we went and looked and like she was. So that's like so true.
Yeah.
But so I interpreted it just like the same way, but I had a different experience with it. How about that?
Yeah.
So I have to tell the story, obviously, here. I wasn't with a low quality person by any stretch of the imagination. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, you don't think of my ex and think low quality. He didn't even drink. He had very healthy habits, right? However, we didn't hold each other accountable it's not a high quality way, right? It was just a different way. But yeah. I still interpreted this video that I watched of like the girl talking, like there was girls talking about how their high quality men like hold them accountable and things. And I was thinking about it in the sense of how it's almost subjective to how you receive being held accountable and how that's your version of high quality. So like by standard definition, some versions of high quality won't fit. Like what I'm talking about is not necessarily like staying up late, partying type thing, but it's like I wasn't held accountable because we viewed things differently. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like low quality does not have to mean that person is a bad person or has bad habits. It could just be that they maybe don't motivate you in the way that you need to be for you to be a high quality person. Yeah,
like it was so, because like both of our definitions of it, I was just thinking like my experience, and I was like, oh, weird, because this so applies to me too. Yeah, but not in terms of like necessarily tangible habits, but the way I thought about things and the way I operated by proxy of how I was being motivated of things around me. Quick pause to talk about Field of Greens, because you guys, have you heard of cancer-fighting foods? The American Cancer Society discovered diets rich in fruits and veggies are actually better for you and may lower your risk of cancer. Hopefully you hear this and you run to the store for 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. But if not, and you're kind of like Jordyn and I, and you're like, I might not hit that, but I want to hit that, enter Field of Greens, your daily health regimen that is your entire servings of fruits and veggies that you need for the day. So each fruit and veggie in Field of Greens was doctor selected for studied health benefits. That's heart health group, lungs, kidney, and metabolisms groups, even healthy weight. What your body needs is in every single scoop of Field of Greens. Will Field of Greens prevent, treat, or cure cancer? Nope, but it's so powerful it promises that at your next checkup, your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back. We love when people put their money where their mouth is. So we've got you 15% off and free rush shipping. All you have to do is visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code MEANGIRL for your discount. That's promo code MEANGIRL at fieldofgreens.com. Fieldofgreens.com, promo code MEANGIRL.
My ex of 5 years was an incredible person, such a nice guy, but when I was with him, I was not a high quality version of myself. Like, I was so okay with not being motivated for like a really good job or wanting to live in a new place or challenge myself or be super active or try new things. Like, my life was just very blah. But being with Pete, who is a high quality person, like, we both want to travel, try new things. We both motivate each other. We both want to be wealthy, live in these great places. Like, we help each other be the higher quality versions of ourselves that we want to be.
Yeah, like same quality almost, like a match, which I think is so fascinating because I think a lot of people are quick to look at a resume of somebody and say, oh, he's high quality, no matter how he fits with you. And it's like, he might be somebody's version of high quality, but he might not be yours.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's so, I think the concept is like very fascinating because some people put you in worse habits that you can't operate in, but some people can thrive in.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like, even as simple as like the way I present myself, like when I was dating other people, like I would wear like more like party-ish outfits or this or that. But with Pete, it's like he's helping me, like, not that I didn't act my age before, but like I feel more like I'm going to be 29. Like, I want to wear like nicer things and like present myself better. Like, and he's not changing me. Like, these are all things that I wanted to do, but he's helping me get there. And just because I want to present myself in a better light, like, I don't want people to look at me and be like, does she even have her life together? Like, I want people to look at me and be like, she is mature. She's going to be 30 soon. Like, she has her life together.
Totally. No, I totally agree. I think the concept is so good for people to think about and how their matches fit them.
Yeah, and I think too, if you're dating, like a test you can do is to see if you're with a high or low quality person is see how you're acting. Like, how are you acting on social media? How are you acting like at work even? Like, are you getting to work late because they kept you up? Are you going to work and you're feeling stressed? Or like, how are your grades at school if you're in college? How are your relationships with your friends and family? Like, I remember one time I dated someone who was just he just was so toxic that my relationships around me started to fail because I was just always in a bad mood. Like, he was just ruining that for me. So it's like, just like check those boxes to see. And if those boxes are high quality, like, that means you're with a higher quality person.
Totally. I totally agree. And it's not, or it's like, not even that they're low quality of a human. They're just not your quality. They don't make you high quality, right? And I think it's such a fascinating concept. I kind of equated it to like, also if they put you in your feminine or masculine energy, it was kind of like, I almost paralleled it to that because I think we're supposed to, like, women want to feel secure, men want to feel respected. That's like a tale as old as time. Mm-hmm. And I think as much as we grow past that, we really don't. Like, I think that exists for a reason. And so it's sort of like one puts you in your feminine energy, one puts you in your masculine energy. And I think a lot of times in relationships, you do, as tough as you want to be, you do need to be in your feminine. Like, you don't want to feel like you have to protect yourself. At the end of the day, you do want to feel a bit of protected. And so that's also equates to high quality or low quality.
Yeah, I feel like I've been seeing that trend, or a lot of people talking about masculine and feminine energy. And I think Pete is probably the first guy in a long time to put me in my feminine energy because I feel so safe and secure with him. Because I've dated people in the past where I don't feel like they could protect me. So I kind of feel like I always have to be, quote unquote, like the more man in the relationship. Like, I have to make the reservations and make sure, like, when we're going out, I'm not drinking as much because I know he's going to drink a ton and he can't protect me if anything happens. I have to make sure someone gets home safe. And Pete's one of the first people I've been with where I'm like, he's got this. Like, I don't have to be like the big powerful one making sure that everything's going to go according to plan. And it's such a nice feeling.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I look at it with Harrison in terms of like ambition goals. And like, cause that's one thing that's always on my top 2 for like things I'm attracted to is ambition. And the second I learned that is like the second my life changed. But seeing how he can match, like we can really match each other on ambition, and not one of us is like, oh, I want to do X, Y, Z. It's because you can feel so masculine when you do that. But if they have that and you both have the same goals, then you don't feel so like you're just like stomping on them.
Yeah. I know. And it's just like as simple as like when I travel with Pete, I've never been with someone who like takes my luggage and doesn't let me roll my luggage. Like I've never experienced that. Like right when we get out of the Uber, Pete's like, give me your luggage. And I'm like, I've just never been able to like be the feminine one when I travel, where I just like hold my purse. Like, and I don't care what people say. I love that.
Oh, and there's some people that are like, I can lift my luggage. We can. Great. Yeah, we are all strong enough to lift our own luggage. But it is nice to not have to.
Right?
Yeah,
and like,
yeah.
That's the thing, Alex. You're so right. Like, it's just nice not to have to.
Yeah, like some people are like, I got it. And it's like, I also could with one arm lift up my luggage, which is fabulous. But the fact that they want to do it for us is like them bringing us flowers. We could also go get our own, but I'm okay if they're brought to me.
I remember the first time Pete and I went on a trip together, he like booked the hotel, and I was like, you already booked the hotel? He's like, yeah, you told me to. And I was like, what is happening? I've never had. Even with my girlfriends, I'm like usually the person who like has the folder of like the hotel reservations, all of this. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, I've never booked a hotel. I'm really happy for you to experience that.
But yeah,
nice.
I love being in my feminine era.
Yeah, the feminine. Well, I just think we're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I've never been able to, you can't do that when you're single.
Right. And I think, like, I don't even know that it's an era. I hope it's your lifetime, right? I hope you just live in the feminine. I hope a lot of people, I had this conversation the other day, but like, the hope is everyone finds their feminine energy that's supposed to, and just like, it's a normal
like,
thing.
Me and my friends always joke about like blue jobs and pink jobs. And I'm always like, now that I have a boyfriend, I don't care what other girls say. Like, I don't want to do blue jobs anymore. I don't want to take out the trash. I don't want to get gas in my car now that I have a car. I don't want to change a light bulb, because I had to do all of that for a very long time, and I don't want to anymore.
It's funny. I'm experiencing this right now of like, I still think the best piece of advice is what you do at the start is what you'll do forever.
Yes, I loved when you said that. Yeah.
And it's so funny because let me just point out the obvious here. I'm starting that over. I've done that one time, right? And now I'm redoing it. And so you kind of have this opportunity to say, okay, well, what do I want to do? And it's like, I hate laundry, but I love the trash.
Yeah. I mean, I hate cooking, but I love cleaning.
Totally. Yeah. I know. Isn't that funny? Like, did someone just hand her a plate? It was like somebody just gave her a meal, and I just couldn't. As we're talking about things, I was gonna say,
Julie's not doing the pig jobs today.
I was like, did she just literally get handed a sandwich?
Right on time. She's with her friend right now. That was so perfect timing. Julie watches our Zoom calls for people listening, or our Zoom recordings, and she just got handed a plate of a sandwich right when we were talking about blue and pink jobs.
I was like, did she have a butler?
Can you imagine? She just has like a maid and butler, and we're like,
rings her bell, and it's just like,
where are you getting this income?
Yeah, like, what are you doing over there? The pink job is being done
by her friend. I love that. Do you want to do the listener question?
I liked this listener question. Okay.
I did too. Also, feel free to email us. I feel like the last few listener questions have been emailed, and they're easier for us to receive because we receive less emails via listener questions.
This person like spaced it out and everything.
Oh, I love that. And they use good grammar too.
Yeah. Okay. Hi guys, I've been wanting to ask a question. It's a difficult situation and I'm looking for some advice. I have been best friends with my friend for many years. When we were younger, I started dating her cousin and we dated for 7 years. We broke up and got back together a couple of years ago. We're very serious. We're looking to buy a house, get engaged, and get married. This is the man I want to spend my life with and have children with. Sometimes I feel like I'm in a very hard spot being in the middle. I am her best friend, but when we get engaged, he needs to come first. Do you have any advice on how to make my best friend not be mad when my boyfriend comes my top priority? I love them both, but we need to prioritize the man who I will have a family with. Any advice helps.
That's a great question because I'm curious if her best friend has a boyfriend. Because so me and my best friend Madeline, like she is my everything. We always joke like we're each other's soulmates and our boyfriends are just our boyfriends. But we both have a very good understanding that like because she got in a relationship first, like her boyfriend is her number one priority. And like, not unfortunately, like you just have to accept that because if the roles were reversed, you would never want to feel like you had to pick. So I feel like that's the part of growing up is like understanding that we get partners, like 99% of the population does, and like they do become their first priority, and then their kids do, and so on. Like you always have a special place in their heart, but like friends can't be your number one priority for the rest of your life.
Totally agree. And one thing I saw with all of my friends as at the time I was in this like group of I'm still in the same group, but I also was engaged during this period, right? And one thing that really changes everything, even in terms of your family viewing somebody from boyfriend to fiance, when that ring is on your finger, it really does establish an immediate boundary and understanding with everybody around you. And while it happens, of course, in boyfriend land, and I think the ideal situation is what you and Madeline have, where we don't even have to ask this question because people are so respectful of the situation.
Yeah.
But if it is a worry, when the moment you get engaged, if the mindset doesn't shift to that's your number one, because that's who naturally you're going to do life with, you're going to pay bills with, you're going to raise a family with, like that's who you're going to go through shit with. And if that mindset doesn't shift, then that's not really on you, right?
Yeah, and you should never think of them as like picking their boyfriend over you. It's just like that's life and that's their person and they still love you the same, but you are a friend at the end of the day, and this person is becoming their family, like the person that they will create a family with. And yeah, I don't know. And I think too, it's like you have to learn that maybe when you guys hang out, it's going to be the three of you for a while, and that's okay. Like that's just the way life is, and that's just the part of growing up. But yeah, so long story short, don't take offense if your best friend start to feel like your best friend is putting your boyfriend first, because she's not. It's just the way life is. Like that's as simple as it gets.
Yeah, and play your role. You got a great one. Do your role really well, but it's not your relationship. So, and then hey, guess what? She'll return the favor when you get in yours.
Yeah, never make your friend feel like they have to pick, because if you make your friend feel like they have to pick, they most likely will pick the person that's not making them feel like they have to pick.
Yeah, they will resent you. So make it easy.
Yeah. Before we end, do you want to quick do some recs?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What are your recs? I mean, I saw them, but tell us.
Okay, so I have a movie and a TV show. For the TV show, there's this new show on Hulu. Well, it's not new. It's been out for a while, but I started watching it, called Under the Bridge. And the Hills? Oh, sorry. It's called Under the Bridge. My other rec was The Hills, but people are probably like, we know what The Hills is. It's called Under the Bridge, and it's based off of a book and a true story. And it's so good. It's about this little town in Canada, and these teenage girls. Well, we assume that these teenage girls kill this other girl, and it's about discovering like what actually happened. But it's just like a psychological thriller, and it's just like you watch one episode and you're like, I want to watch the next because I want to know exactly what happens. And then my other rec is Challenger with Zendaya.
Oh,
I saw it last night. It was so
really
good.
Okay.
Yes, the tennis movie.
She like doesn't usually miss, so that's good to know.
Yeah, I think you and Harrison would both like it because it's it's like a thought-provoking movie. Like, you really have to figure out like the symbolism in it, like what it actually means. Like, the way they filmed it is like they're playing a game of tennis. Like, it goes back and forth, and like, I don't want to give too much away, but like, it goes from present to past, and it's like one serves, and it's kind of like how the other one won that part of the past, and the next one how they won that part of the past. And it's like, it's just, there's like so many different like things in there where you're like, wow, this was really well written. And they don't use like mainstream music. It's all just like this one soundtrack. It's so good.
Okay, I really love that. That's in theaters? Did you go see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm kind of on a movie kick, so I would like to see that. Mine are, I went also to the movies and saw Civil War. It's fiction, but it is I don't want to, it was interesting. I saw the movie and hadn't seen the preview. So I don't know what the preview tells you. I'll just say, if you're thinking about seeing it, it was phenomenal. You can't get up to pee, like go to the bathroom beforehand, because there's nothing you can miss. So fabulous movie. And then The Gilded Age, which I had watched way back in the day, but it's about like the Rockefellers, like old time first wealthy New Yorkers, and it's based on a true story. The season 2's out, so it's just fabulous. I've always loved it.
Oh, amazing. Okay, I will definitely see Civil War, and I'll think about the TV series. I started Sugar, by the way.
Oh, what do you think?
I like it. I like it a lot. It's just on the back burner now because Under the Bridge is so good. I have to watch that first.
That's fair. Yeah, Sugar's like one that'll always be there. It's just like every kind of, we've seen a bunch like that, but yeah, I like it.
Okay, well, time to go.
Okay, until next time.
Okay, love you guys, and keep emailing us listener questions.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.